Peace everybody, it's Ben. Welcome back to another yoga practice. Today you don't need any props. I have two blocks with me here. They might be helpful, but they are not required. Today we're going to be moving through an all-around Vinyasa flow, opening up space in the legs, the hips, but really the whole body, and of course getting deep into our breath. So let's go ahead and get started in a down dog. Right. And you can also, if you need to, pause the video and set up your space. If you like listening to music in the background, you can do that. Or maybe you need an extra moment just to maybe clean up your space, make it a space that feels welcome to practice in. But whenever you find yourself in this down dog, sway the weight around. Take a couple deep breaths. And try to cultivate a sense of lengthening through the side bodies in the down dog, and a little bit of buoyancy in the legs. Right, so nowhere needs to feel stuck in our yoga practice. The goal is always to feel free, and often freedom comes from exploration and an openness to moving outside the box. From down dog, tiptoe the feet up to the palms, forward fold, top of your mat. Relax the arms down, relax the head down. Give yourself a few exhales in this space. Find a halfway lift, lengthening forward through the spine. Then find your forward fold, let it go. Sweep the arms to the sky, stand all the way up. Bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot all the way back. Drop the left knee down. Reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana, grab your elbows. Shift the hips forward and back. And try to create an active sensation through the legs. So we're not just dumping down into the legs. We're not just feeling a totally passive stretch. We're allowing ourselves to bring awareness into the body through strength. I find that often when we're completely passive in a pose, it gives the mind space to wander to so many things outside the present moment. But when we activate within a pose, which is easy to be passive in, then all of a sudden we bring awareness, we bring exploration, curiosity, and of course, presence. Let's bring the fingertips down to the mat, pyramid pose. Straighten both legs. Feel free to use a couple blocks if you have them. Give yourself a couple breaths here. You can always shorten the stance. You could always bend into the right knee. What feels good? What feels natural? Start to bend into the right knee. Rise up for high crescent lunge as the arms lift up to the sky. Try to stay super high onto the back toes. You don't need to be super close to the ground. You can if you want to be, but you'll notice I'm kind of in a taller lunge. And even though I'm not super low to the ground in this lunge, it's still really active because of how strong I'm trying to be in the back leg specifically. Let's take an inhale. Take an exhale. Bring the hands through heart center. Shift forward, warrior three. Come into a balance. Bring the left knee into tap for a Shiva squat. So left knee to back of right shin, back of right calf. And then re-extend to warrior three. This time, step forward chair pose. So left foot plants next to the right. Could be hips width, or you could bring feet together if that's your thing. Take an inhale for chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back. Right knee comes down, arms to the sky. Feel free to grab the elbows to open the shoulders. And then explore and try to feel an activity, again, through the legs. Often you can find that activity by driving the right shin down in towards the floor. A few breaths here. Slowly release, fingertips to the ground. Pull the hips back in space. Pyramid pose. Feel the nice deep stretch here. Breathe into it. Rejoice in it. I've been trying to remind myself that we don't need to complicate the practice, make it more or less than what it is. We can let ourselves land on the mat and be in the experience without expecting anything else. Go ahead and come into your high crescent lunge when you're ready, bending into the left knee, lifting the arms up, and then finding a strong back leg high onto the toes. Hands draw through heart center. Lean out, warrior three, nice and steady. We're taking our time, especially on this first round. You have time to feel every pose. Shiva squat, pull the right knee in towards the calf or to the back of the left knee. And then re-extend, warrior three. Pull it in for chair. Plant the right foot, arms up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank pose. Step the feet back. Chaturanga, lower halfway. Upward, facing dog. Downward, facing dog. Take 3 breaths. And from your downward facing dog, lift the right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Feel free to open at the hip if you like here. And then pull the knee in toward the chest. Step all the way forward. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Drop the left knee, reach the arms up. Feel free to grab the elbows. Notice how there's a little more space on the second time here compared to the first. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold over the right leg, pyramid. Try to stay onto the fingertips to keep most of the activity into the legs. Crescent lunge, bend into the knee, arms up to the sky. I'm not giving so many cues in this practice, at least thus far, because I'm wanting to leave space for your own experience and interpretation of each posture. Right, so I'll instruct you where we're going. I'll remind you to breathe. But I think it's also my job as an instructor, as we head into warrior three, lean out. It's also my job as an instructor to leave you space and not need to fill every second. To allow the opportunity for your own individual experience. Slowly bring the left knee in, Shiva squat, tap. Re-extend to warrior three. And then step to chair pose. Left foot lands. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank pose, step back. From plank pose, chaturanga, lower halfway. Upward, facing dog, urdhva, mukha, svanasana. Exhale, down dog, adho, mukha, svanasana. Left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Reach up. Pull the knee in, step through, Anjaneyasana. Low crescent lunge. Reach the arms up and again appreciate the body's ability to slowly create space when given the chance to. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Pyramid, Parsvottanasana. High crescent lunge, bend into the left knee, arms to the sky. Hands through heart center, lean out, warrior three. Embrace the balance and try to find a little bit of baby cobra pose energy in the back. So back muscles fired up to lift the spine forward and up. And then pull it in for a Shiva squat. Reach back, warrior three. And then plant for chair pose. Right foot top of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Excuse me. Halfway lift. Plank pose. Step back. Lower through chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We'll see if I edit that sneeze out. Honestly, I'll probably forget about it and I'll probably stay in there, but that's life. You know, we got allergies here in North Carolina, so that's just part of the game. Right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Step through. Find your low crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms lift, spend a couple breaths here. In this class today, I like to think of the vibe of a slow power vinyasa. So we're still finding activity, openness, and strength, but we're not rushing ourselves. There's strength in going slow and going fast. Right? It's not always just strength by going 90 miles an hour. Sometimes there's strength in riding a bike, which can only go maybe 15 or 20 miles an hour. Crescent lunge, rise up. Warrior three, lean out. And we're still going to increase the pace. Shiva squat, pull it in. Warrior three, push it out. Chair pose, bring it in, take an inhale. Exhale, fold. But even as we increase the pace, we're not going to rush. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms down, step back. And go through a flow that will bring you back to downward facing dog. Take your time with it. Maybe there's an up dog, maybe an extra chaturanga. It's your choice. Left leg up. Step through. Low crescent lunge. Drop the knee. Reach the arms. Pyramid pose. Exhale the hands to the ground. Pull the hips back in space. High crescent lunge. Bend into the left knee. Sweep the arms up. Warrior three. Hands to heart. Lean out. Shiva squat. Tap it in. Warrior three. Reach back out. Chair pose. Plant the right foot. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step the feet back, and flow to downward facing dog. From down dog, right leg up. Step the right foot through. Drop the left knee behind you. Reach the arms up, crescent, low crescent rather. Find a pyramid fold over the right leg. High crescent lunge, rise up. Warrior three, hands to heart, lean out. Shiva squat, tap the left knee in. Re-extend to warrior three. Pull the left foot in chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, and then flow from there. And notice the space we're creating. Notice the heat we're generating. From here, reach the left leg up. Step through for your low crescent lunge, arms to the sky. Fold into pyramid pose. High crescent lunge, open out. Warrior 3, lean forward. Shiva squat, tap the right knee in. Re-extend, energize through the back leg. Chair pose, step through, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, flow from there. From down dog, the right leg lifts to the sky. Step through, warrior 2. Right foot up, left heel rotates down. Arms spread, open. Whew, slow it down. We really started slow and then almost without even noticing. We increased the pace. We built strength. And we built the heart rate up a little bit. Now we slow it down. We'll stay active, but we're just slowing it down a little bit. Reverse the triangle. Flip the right palm. Scoop the energy up. And take it from here into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Take it slowly. In fact, I even like to bring my hands to my hips and shorten the stance a little, especially on my first triangle of the day. You might notice me kind of exploring with the upper body, and that's because for my body, if I haven't done one of these open hip positions, they start to become a very deep sensation. So I try to approach it almost a little more dynamically. Instead of holding some very deep space, I just kind of bounce in and out of it. I sway, I find control, I find an availability to exist within that space. We'll go from here to reverse warrior. So slowly bend into the right knee. Reverse the warrior. Inhale. Exhale, side angle pose. I'm going to go straight for the full bind because I'm wanting to open my shoulders in this way. But of course, you could keep the arms spread open in your side angle. Take 2 breaths here. Bring the hands to the mat. Close off your stance. Drop the left knee down. Twist the right arm up. Reach back for a quad stretch. And if you wanted to do lizard lunge without the quad stretch, with the hands down inside of your right foot, of course, that option is there for you. You're in the comfort of your own home or your own space, so let your practice reflect the coziness of that process. Breathe into whatever space that you are currently occupying. From here, listen carefully. One-armed pyramid pose. So tuck the toes behind you. Sweep the right arm behind you and keep just the left arm on the ground for pyramid. This will force us to get a little bit deeper into the legs, both in terms of strength and potentially flexibility. From here, bend into the right knee, and we're going to actually thread the left leg through. So we're going to kick it through the gap between the right foot and left hand, and we're going to lay down for low boat, and then we'll come up high boat, low boat, high boat, low boat, and then just keep it going. And we'll keep going, generating some strength in the core for 20, 19, 18. It might sound like a lot, but it'll go quickly. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, last 12, 11, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Amazing job. If you're still going, even if you're taking a break, amazing job. 5, 4, 3, 2, as you come up, plant the right foot and the left hand and come out the same way. So thread the left leg behind you. Bring the right hand down, reach the right leg up to the sky. 3-legged dog with the right foot in the air. And then step the right foot through for half pigeon. Maybe in the half pigeon you stay a little more active at the onset by lifting up through the spine. Whether or not there's a block or a little pillow under the right hip is your choice. And when you feel receptive to it, go from here into your forward fold, into the half pigeon, if you have not already. And then let yourself move into some yin energy. Slow it down, focus on the exhale, and give yourself space to release into the posture. Slowly begin to lift up. Bring the left leg around. Janu Shirshasana, seated tree pose, into a side body stretch. Right arm reaches overhead. Breathe into the right side body here. Embrace this continued yin energy, because of course we'll move back into those standing postures on the other side. But before then we still have time. We have space, which can be a rare commodity in today's world. I've been reminding myself to let my movement practice reflect the idea of freedom. Right? Because if we think about yoga, and if yoga has any goals, and I'm talking about yoga as a expansive 8-limbed path, right, past the physical, one goal of yoga is the state of samadhi, the 8th and final limb of yoga. And samadhi is defined in many ways when translated from Sanskrit to English, but one definition is freedom or liberation. So how can we bring this sense of freedom or liberation into our movement practice? Something to ponder. There's no simple answer, or maybe there is. But I find that that question can have a different answer every day or every season. Okay, from here, slowly begin to lift up. Cross the left leg over the right for a Gomukhasana position in the legs. We are not here for long, my friends. This position is very hard for me based on my pelvic structure. But after some hip openers, I always like to check and see how the Gomukhasana is doing. And I like to just rock around a little bit because sometimes I can feel stuck here. So anytime I feel stuck, like that first down dog often, is a reason and a cause for me to explore some little shifty movements, once again in the name of freedom. Okay, from here just unwind, and we're headed back to down dog. And so maybe you come through a tabletop or a seat, and eventually we lift the hips for down dog. Reset here for a moment. We'll sweep the left leg to the sky, three-legged dog, and we'll step through warrior two. Right heel rotates down, hips open up. Spread the arms. Find your strong warrior position, but carry forward the calmness that we created in those deeper stretches and bring them into these active standing postures. Flip the left hand, reverse the triangle. Allow the legs to extend, create some new space as you lift, and then reach forward into triangle pose. Notice I said reach forward, not down. We want to create length rather than compression. And then find your triangle, whether the left hand comes down to the ground or not. Try to keep the left thigh muscles activated. Then again, maybe you find your still, stable triangle, or maybe, if you're like me, you might shift the weight around once again for the same reasons that I've described a few times tonight. Well, I say tonight, but it's an evening time for me. But maybe you're just waking up. If so, then good morning. Okay, reverse the warrior, bend into the left knee, left arm lifts. Come into side angle with a bind or no bind. I'm laughing at myself, just creating small talk with y'all as I go through this flow, as if you could talk back. But you can comment back, so if you're still listening to this class, then maybe send me a comment. Let me know how you're doing today. Let me know what time of the day you took this practice. I love to connect with y'all. Okay, from here, release the bind. Bring the hands down to the ground. Drop the right knee as we twist the left arm up, and then bend the right knee behind you as we open in the opposite direction to before. Coming into this quad stretch lizard lunge position. Breathe into the left side body and aim to find this cross diagonal twist. You can always place your right hand up on a block. Makes the bind a little more available for many folks. Let's release this into one arm pyramid. So remember, the left arm sweeps back. Otherwise, it's a regular pyramid. Maybe you're a little bit longer than your usual stance, just because we're more open than our other pyramid poses we found today. From the pyramid, start to bend into your left knee. Remember, we're threading under, so right leg picks up, right leg threads through the gate, and we sit down for low boat. And then we have another round of high boat to low boat, because it's good for us, even if it might not be the most fun thing in the world. Although I think it's a little bit fun, just the element of challenge. So let's keep going for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Shift up, plant the left foot and the right hand, thread the right leg through behind you. Bring the left hand to the ground, lift the left leg to the sky, and then we're going to step the left leg all the way through for our half pigeon. Take your time creating your stance, because this can be a very deep stretch, so it's worthwhile to have what feels like a solid foundation from the start, especially if we're going to be here for a couple minutes. One thing that half pigeon teaches me is that I'm not 100% symmetrical. Depending on the day, the left or the right side could be much harder to get into the pigeon pose than the other side. All right, stay upright for as long as you want, but when you're ready, you have the freedom to go ahead and fold into it. Slowly begin to lift. As you do so, begin to wrap the right leg around. And we're headed into Janu Sirsasana with a side body reach. Left arm extends, left side body opens. And then you have time to explore and breathe into that space. Begin to lift up. Wrap the right leg over the left. Sit into your Gomukhasana position for a couple breaths. Some people like to add on the twist here. You certainly can. But for me, the Gomukhasana is enough of a hip opener that it's worthwhile to focus just on that. But I know for some people it's a little easier of a position, so adding on the twist could certainly make sense. From here, we're just wrapping back to down dog. From our down dog position, reach the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Step the right foot through, drop to the left knee, low crescent lunge, just like old times. From here, pyramid, maybe with no arms, as both arms sweep behind you. Crescent lunge, reach the arms to the sky. Draw hands through heart, lean forward, warrior three. Bring the left knee in, tap. Re-extend, warrior three. Bring the left foot in, chair, inhale. This time, toe stand on the exhale. From toe stand, you might have to scoop back on your mat. From toe stand, let's try something. Drop the knees down to the mat ahead of you. Push the hips forward. Bring the hands to the chest, cross the arms. Lean back into a trust fall. I know it seems like a weird thing to do, but you don't have to go too far back. Just activate the quads and the glutes and lean back a little bit. Trust fall. And then rise up. Hands to the mat, forward fold. And that's where we find some of that slow power energy. Those trust falls are not easy. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the palms, step back and move through a flow that will eventually unite yourself and downward facing dog back into the same time and place. Left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Step the left foot and come into your low crescent lunge, Anjane Asana position. Arms up to the sky. Pyramid pose, potentially with no arms. Use what we've created to find a new experience in the same posture. High crescent lunge, rise up. Warrior three, lean forward. Shiva squat, bring the right knee in. Re-extend, warrior three. Chair pose, plant the right foot, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, and move through your flow. From there, we'll meet in down dog in a couple breaths. From down dog, I did forget the trust fall on the left side, so let's go ahead and just do that right now. So drop the knees down. Prepare for trust fall from the kneeling position. If you want to cross the arms, you can, or arms forward can work as well as a counterweight. Sometimes I like to go arms forward, ball the hands into fists, lean back, trust fall. Try to stay here for a couple breaths if you can. That's all I got. Forward fold. Let that go. From here, I'm going to drop my knees, make my way into a seated meditation position. All right, so normally I end these classes in Shavasana, but today I'm going to go right into seated meditation for a few minutes. I think of seated meditation as an opportunity to actively practice the same energy that's passively practiced in Shavasana. Meditation, the body is just a little more active, so sometimes it leads to a different experience than Shavasana when the body is completely at rest or at ease. So go ahead and make your way into a seated meditation or a Shavasana. And if you're coming to a seated meditation, try to sit in a way where your spine can be completely upright and vertical. It's often hard to find a true meditative energy when the spine is rounded, because that might lead to some discomfort after a couple minutes. Okay? I'm going to practice Kumbhaka pranayama, which is just breath retention. So for a few minutes here, I'm going to practice a method of breath. I'm not going to cue it because I'll be doing it, where there's an inhale, a pause for a certain amount of time, and then an exhale, and a pause after that exhale. And I'm not going to be instructing it because I'd like you to explore the length of retention after the inhale and exhale that works for your body. And you're welcome to count with numbers. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, like so. Or you're welcome to not count and just take it intuitively because you know your body and you are in the experience of breathing in your body. So with that being said, go ahead and come into your meditation or shavasana and allow the experience to begin. My friends, I invite you to remain in your shavasana or seated meditation for a few more minutes or however long you wish. And you can always go from seated meditation into shavasana or vice versa as well. This is where I'll leave you so that you can determine your own length of meditation or shavasana. And then you can proceed with the rest of your day or with your next practice on the terms that suit you best. I thank you for being here, for sharing your time, your energy with us over here on YouTube. And I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. I hope to see you again soon. Peace.